On March 3rd, 2016, almost 10 years ago, I collected my very first platinum trophy. It was from a game called Grim Fandango Remastered, and I remember I only played it because it was a free game for PlayStation Plus. Ever since that day, I've loved gathering platinum trophies, and now I have over 100 on my account. I took some time off because I went to college and then focused all of my time gaming Rocket League and becoming a full-time streamer with that, which is super cool. But I still love to trophy hunt. And if you're watching this video, I'm guessing that you have some trophies that you've collected as well, and you love that feeling of having that trophy pop, especially that platinum trophy, knowing that you've done everything the game threw at you. I wanted to make a video ranking some of the platinum trophies that I'm the most proud of. And while I'm proud of most of my platinums, there are 10 I decided were the hardest ones to collect. So they're kind of the same thing here. The 10 platinum trophies I'm the most proud of, and then the 10 platinum trophies that were the hardest are kind of the same. I'll explain some caveats as we get into the video, but I just started making platinum content on this channel, and it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe if you enjoy the video and help us push to 100 subscribers. We just hit 50, which is super hype, and let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see here on the channel. Reminder as well that I have a Let's Play channel called Basilisk Plays, where I played over 30 story games. If you want to check that out, I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description. But that's enough intro. Let's get into the 10 hardest platinum trophies I've gotten in my collection. We're kicking things off at number 10. This game had a lot of tricky trophies, but it's one that I'm really proud of because I played it a lot in college back in 2016. Yes, I went to college almost 10 years ago. I don't want to talk about that. I'm not old. I'm still young. Anyways, I started it back in 2016, but I picked it back up this past year and finally got around to getting the platinum for it. And that game is Call of Duty World War II. I played a ton of COD growing up. Kids these days wouldn't last a second in the old Modern Warfare lobbies. Am I right, boomers? This is also the only COD I've ever platinumed, which makes it doubly satisfying for me. But it was a really tough game to platinum. You have to put in some pretty good work in all three game modes. First, you got to play through the campaign on the hardest difficulty, find all the collectibles, and also complete specific actions during some of the missions. I remember there was one specifically that was super tough where you had to like shoot down a bunch of planes or something. I don't know, but it was really frustrating and difficult and not very fun. After that, you got to grind multiplayer. You got to get to the max level 55 so that you can prestige for a trophy, which demanded a ton of time. This wouldn't have been so bad, except I did this in 2024, like 8 years after the game came out, so there was like nobody online. It was really hard to find games, but eventually I was able to prestige and be done with multiplayer, which left the last section. I don't know if I'm just a big baby, but World War II Zombies freaked me out more than any other game. It just had more jump scares than other games, and it was just creepy, man. I don't know. But you had to do a ton of challenges here, as well as completing the Easter egg, and the final trophy I got in this game was for getting to level 20 in the prologue, which was super challenging. I can't even lie to you, I glitched this trophy after trying it authentically a few times. I just couldn't do it. It was just too tough, and you can cheese it, so it's not my proudest platinum, unfortunately. But if you've gotten platinum trophies, I'm sure you've experienced cheese and glitching, and you've done stuff like that, so your hands aren't clean either. Stop looking at me like that. World War II was still really tough, and I'm proud to have the platinum for it, though, so I put it at number 10. Moving on to number 9, we're going to throw a whole franchise in here. I mentioned that there were caveats in the intro, and this is going to be one of those moments. At number 9, I'm going to put the Batman Arkham Trilogy. I'm putting the whole trilogy because a lot of these games have pretty similar platinum structures, especially Arkham City and Arkham Knight. I've actually never played Arkham Origins, and I don't know anything about it, so if that's a fun game or if it's a good platinum, let me know in the comments, and maybe someday we'll play through it. But these games are pretty freaking tough, man. If you've played them, you know how annoying and tedious the Riddler trophies are. That is an absolute grind. But even besides that, there are a lot of challenges in these games. You have combat trophies for executing different combos and movesets. Arkham Knight has AR challenges that you have to do perfectly, and there are a ton of them. Overall, there's just a lot to grind and a lot to do in the games. It's both a long grind and a tough grind, which means that you have my respect if you have the platinum trophy for any of these games. I'm proud to have all three, and that's why I put the Arkham Trilogy collectively going in at number 9. Moving on to number 8, this is definitely a game I'm biased towards. It's my absolute favorite game of all time, and since it's a game I love, I'm proud to have 100%ed it and gotten the platinum for it. There are tougher games out there, which is why this fell at number 8, but I'm going to put The Last of Us Remastered. I put this game on the list of my top 10 enjoyable platinum experiences, but I got to make an important distinction here. That video was about The Last of Us Remake on PS5. That game had no difficulty trophies and no multiplayer trophies, so it's a lot more simple to go through that one and get the platinum. But The Last of Us Remastered on the PS4 is way different. If you want the platinum for it, you'll have to beat the game twice, both times on survivor difficulty. Grab all the collectibles while you're doing that, do some other optional stuff, and you'll be all set for the campaign. But this game has multiplayer trophies, which are just Surely you agree with me if you're a trophy hunter, but I hate multiplayer trophies, bro. I don't want my ability to get trophies to be dependent on other people. But for Last of Us Remastered, you have to basically max out your character on 2 different factions, once as a Firefly and once as a hunter. To do this, you'll have to play at least 168 matches to get the total experience you'll need. I remember grinding this out in college and I absolutely hated it, man. I did not love the multiplayer, so it was just not a fun time. But I love the story of this game. It's amazing and worth the grind for me. I'm impressed with you if you have endured the plot for this game too. Let me know if you did in the comments. But Last of Us Remastered is coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is a game I honestly completely forgot about until I went through my collection and saw that I had this. There is one trophy in this game that single-handedly made it on the top 10 list. If you've platinumed this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Coming in at number 7 is Rayman Legends. I platinumed this game a few years ago, and from what I remember, most of it's not that bad. In case you've never played this game, Rayman Legends is a 2D platformer with a bunch of different levels. There are collectibles you can grab and stuff like that. It's a pretty fun game. But of course, there's a multiplayer section. I know. And this is where the grind really kicks in. Every day, Rayman Legends has 2 levels that you can speedrun, and depending on how well you place globally, you get a certain number of points that day. There's a trophy for getting the maximum level in multiplayer, and this trophy absolutely sucks. It takes approximately 90 days of grinding the levels every day to get enough points for this trophy, and that's assuming that you place in the top 20 to 50% globally and do every challenge every single day. This single trophy was an absolute nightmare. I think I played this game for like 4 months after I beat the game to get that stupid trophy. I would be really surprised if any of you watching this have the platinum for it. If you do, make sure you let me know in the comments. But that one stupid trophy alone got Rayman Legends on this list, sitting at number 7. The last game that's going to close out the bottom 5 is a popular game that I'm sure you've heard of. I'm sure a lot of you have played it as well. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you even have the platinum for this trophy. It's a great game, and coming in at number 6 is God of War. To be clear, I'm talking about the 2018 God of War. You know, the one with all those Valkyrie fights. This game is super fun. It's a top 10 game all time for me, and I actually like the sequel even more than this one, both of which I have full playthroughs of up on the Basilisk Plays channel. Go check it out. Anyways, God of War is phenomenal. It's a great story. It looks amazing. The feeling of throwing the Leviathan axe and recalling it just healed something inside of me, man. It's so amazing. The platinum for it is pretty tough though. It's a big game, so there's just a lot to do, which can feel pretty grindy at times. You got to find all the ravens, the shrines. You got to fully explore all the realms. There's even an entire realm with like a time trials section that I thought was actually really tough. But the toughest part about all of this in the game is taking down all 9 Valkyries and getting the trophy for defeating the Valkyrie Queen. The good news is that there's no difficulty requirement for this game, so you could do it on the easiest difficulty if you'd like. I'm pretty sure I played this game on the default middle difficulty, and it was still really challenging. I can't even imagine trying to platinum this game on Give Me God at War. If you have done that, you gotta let me know in the comments. It was a long and challenging grind for the platinum, so I had to throw it on here. God of War is falling in at number 6. Before we get into the top 5 hardest platinums that I have, take a quick second, hit that subscribe button for me if you're enjoying the video so far. I'm working really hard on the other side of your screen to get these videos out, so make sure you let the algorithm know that it's worth pushing out to more people to help us grow. But let's get into number 5, man. This is another multiple game entry. They're all pretty similar, but really tough. Sitting at number 5, we have the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I remember I platinumed these games back in college over winter break. Even though I totally had a girlfriend and lots of friends to hang out with, I camped out in my parents' basement for 3 weeks and absolutely grinded these games to get the platinum for it. These games are really challenging. The franchise has been around for a long time, so I think it holds a fond place in the hearts of people of a lot of different ages. But man, these games are tricky to beat and even trickier to platinum. It's a similar idea to Rayman Legends, where you just have to beat all the levels in the game by platforming through enemies, hazards, all kinds of stuff. The difficult part comes in all the extra stuff that you have to do after. All 3 games are pretty much the same for the platinum. You got to find all of the crates you can smash in all the levels. You got to get through the levels without dying. And my personal favorite, you have the time trials, where you have to execute an entire level almost flawlessly to get a time quick enough to qualify for the trophies. Maybe someday, if this channel takes off enough, I'll put in the time to platinum the 4th Crash game, but for now it looks like an absolute nightmare that I do not want to go anywhere near. For now, I'll stick with the Insane Trilogy. Crash Bandicoot's gonna come in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is a super niche game that you've probably never heard of. It was free on PlayStation Plus like 8 years ago. I picked it up and decided to grind out the platinum for it. It's a fun little game called Downwell. The idea is super simple. You jump into the well and you keep falling until you kill the boss at the end of it. Of course, the actual path to the bottom is extremely difficult. You get a gun that you fire that helps you slow your fall, but it's extremely fast paced and you have to have an extremely fast reaction time. There are a lot more mechanics of the game, but I don't really want to get into all that. All you need to know is that it's a short grind to the platinum, but it requires some insanely perfect runs. You have to beat a level without ever touching the ground. You have to beat a level without taking any damage, and you also have to beat every single level on hard mode, which is really hard. I remember platinuming this game after maybe 20 to 30 hours and immediately uninstalling it from my PS4. It made me so angry trying to get some of these. Even rethinking about it now is just stirring up some hatred in me, man. Again, it doesn't take a long time. A whole run maybe it takes you like 10 minutes. It's just the difficulty of it that makes you want to pull your hair out. If you've played in this game, you'll have to let me know down in the comments. I am super proud of myself for sticking it out with this game, and I'm putting Downmo in the number 4 spot. We've made it to the top 3. It's time to hand out some medals here in the home stretch of the video. I am extremely proud of these last 3 platinums, even if they're a little bit more common. These are games I look back on, and I'm really, really proud of myself for showing that I had what it takes to endure the platinum for it. The bronze medal for this list, though, is going to go to Bloodborne. I put this game on my top 10 list of most enjoyable plats, and looking back, I'm not sure that was a really good idea, man. This game is really hard. I put it on the old list because it was just really satisfying getting the platinum, but the reason it was so satisfying is that it was my first Souls-like game ever, and I spent hours and hours trying to take down some of these bosses. I wish that I had had the foresight years ago to make platinum content so you guys could have seen my journey getting these plat trophies, but Bloodborne made me rage more than almost any other game I've ever played. This game is layered with missable trophies. You have to be careful about grabbing different pieces of an umbilical cord so you can unlock all of the endings. Theoretically, you have to beat the game 3 separate times because each ending has its own trophy, but there is a way that you can just back up your save and then you can just reload it and trigger the different endings. Outside of the endings though, man, you still have to collect every weapon in the game. Some of them get locked if you pass them and get too far into the game. Same idea with bosses. You got to kill every single one, but if you mess up some of the quest lines or you progress too far, you'll have to start a whole new playthrough for it. And the chalice dungeons, bro, the chalice dungeons are such a grind. I don't ever want to look at those ever again. The DLC for this game was really tough too. The Ludwig fight, the Orphan of Cause, all of it is just a nightmare to complete, but I will admit it is probably some of the most satisfied I have ever felt after popping a platinum trophy. Do you have the platinum for Bloodborne? Because if you do, you have my respect, and make sure you let me know in the comments, but I'm putting Bloodborne on the list at number 3. Only 2 games that I'm more proud of platinuming than Bloodborne, and I debated a lot which one of these should get the gold and which one deserves the silver. I may change my mind down the road, but at the time that I'm recording this is just where my heart is telling me to go. The silver medal, the second proudest platinum trophy I have, belongs to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Goodness, man, I really, really like this game. I can make an entire video about Gwent because I've spent hundreds of hours, probably not hundreds of hours, but I've spent a lot of time on Gwent. This is a top 3 game all time for me. The world is fantastic. Geralt is one of my favorite characters ever. The relationship he has with Ciri, the story of the whole game is just immaculate game design. I adored every minute of playing this game, but it took a long, long time to get the platinum trophy. It takes you over 100 hours to obtain it, and you have to complete the entire game on Death March difficulty, obviously the highest difficulty, where your health doesn't automatically recover, enemies are a lot tougher, and overall it's just a miserable experience. Not only do you have to beat it on the hardest difficulty, but there are like 10 missable trophies, and when it takes like 50 hours for a full playthrough of the game, this can be really intimidating. Did you progress too far to talk to a character? Oops, you missed a Gwent card that you can never get otherwise. Guess you got to start a brand new playthrough if you want that trophy for collecting every card in the game of Gwent. Lose a horse race because you're running it for the very first time? That sucks. Hopefully you saved beforehand because you can't do it again, and you just missed the trophy for winning every horse race in the game. You get where I'm going with this. You have to be extremely thorough in your playthrough of this game, otherwise you'll have to grind multiple playthroughs to earn every trophy the game has in store for you. The DLC was also really fun for The Witcher. It's a bit underwhelming as far as trophies go, but it's still a really fun experience. This is one of the best games ever made in my opinion. I can't wait to play as Ciri and continue the story in The Witcher 4, and I had to throw this game on the list. But it's not number 1 today, man. Only one game can have the gold medal on this list. I can only have one platinum trophy that I am the most proud of. You might have guessed it if you saw the OG video of my top 10 plats. It was an honorable mention in it, but this single game I'm the most proud of platinuming is going to go to Hollow Knight. Dude, I love Hollow Knight. I think I'm just addicted to pain and platinuming really tough games. Looking back at this list, a lot of these games have really tough boss fights and are just brutal experiences. But this game is amazing. It's a simple 2D Metroidvania with a really cool dark world waiting for you to explore every bit of it. You and your trusty Nail take on tons of bosses trying to save Hollow Nest and uncover the darkness that has cursed it for so long. Like I said, I went back and forth between this game and The Witcher for number 1. I'm going to give the nod to Hollow Knight because it felt a touch more difficult than The Witcher, but it's still estimated estimated to take 100 hours to platinum, and technically it's the most difficult game that I've platinumed according to PSN profiles. If you want to platinum this game, you'll have to accomplish a lot of really tough tasks. The good news is that nothing is missable, so you get unlimited tries and you don't need to worry about following a guide so you don't miss a missable trophy. Most of the trophies are pretty straightforward. Kill all the bosses in the game, level up your nail and your abilities. But the real challenge of this platinum comes from getting 112% completion of the game to earn the pure completion trophy. To do this, you'll have to find every collectible, take down every boss, find every upgrade, basically comb over every inch of the world. Not to mention completing the Path of Pain, which isn't required for the platinum, but it's a challenge just begging you to beat it, man. Are you really gonna ignore it? Once you've done all that, you're ready for the final challenge of completing all of the Pantheons. These are basically marathon boss fights where you have back-to-back duels against different bosses, and this is what separates it from other tough games. The final Pantheon, which of course you have to complete for the trophy, Embrace the Void, requires you to fight every single boss in the game back-to-back, with the final couple bosses being the toughest in the game. Not only are the boss fights tough at the end, but it takes like an hour to fight all the bosses, so if you make it to that point, if you die at the final boss or like the second to last boss, you guessed it, you'll have to start all the way from the beginning, starting another hour-long attempt to try and conquer the Pantheon. This is by far my proudest trophy. I remember when I completed this Pantheon, I was absolutely trembling and shaking, and I felt so elated. Even as I'm writing this script and recording this, I'm more and more confident that this is really the proudest plat that I have, the most difficult game I've ever earned the platinum trophy for. If you've platinumed this game, you gotta let me know in the comments, but Hollow Knight gets my gold medal for this list. And there you have it, the 10 hardest games that I've earned the platinum trophy for. What'd you think of the list? What's your proudest platinum trophy you have in your collection? What's your favorite day of the week? Make sure you let me know any thoughts you have down in the comments. I read all of them and I'd really like to respond to you. If you have any ideas for future videos on the channel, make sure you drop those too, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos in the channel. We're trying to push for 100 subs here on the channel, so you could be an OG subscriber before we hit 1 million subs if you tap it right now. Otherwise, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you know that Jesus loves you, and so do I. We'll see you in the next one.